everyone, it is iReverse and welcome back to some more Knights and Dragons. And in today's episode I actually have something very interesting and special prepared for you guys. And today we are going to leak some more images of future epic bosses. Or not epic bosses, what am I even saying? Epic armors, as a matter of fact. Or are they epic armors or not? I'm not entirely sure about it quite yet, but I'll be showing them off to you guys. So if you guys like this, like me bringing them out to you guys as soon as they come out, make sure to drop that like. It literally only takes you guys like 1.5 seconds, but it would really help me out. And with that being said, I actually need to give like a major shout out to a friend of mine who's actually, you know, I'm always chatting with him and everything about every random stuff that's happening in the game and stuff like that. And he actually, I told him on Skype, I told him like, you know, listen, there's actually been images leaked of what potentially could be the next epic boss armors or the next epic armors, and he was like, hey Reverse, show them to me, I'm actually very curious what they look like. So I was like, nah, I'm not going to show them to you. So he actually went on his own to the database and he actually got the images by himself, and he like put them together in puzzle pieces. I was like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. So he sent me the files over so that way I could show it off to you guys. So I'm gonna show you guys his friend code. I'm gonna look him up in my friends list, and you guys should add him because he's amazing for bringing this out to you guys, because you know, without him it would have not been possible. So this is his friend code. His friend code is I'm not going to name that out, but his name is DCVirusNL. I'm also going to drop a link to his YouTube channel in the video description. You can see it on the screen as well. Make sure to subscribe to him. He makes actually like dubstep videos, like remixes and everything. It's actually quite cool to listen to, so make sure to give that a like and everything. So let's get on topic here. And before we actually do that, of course, I need to tell you guys, I'm about to spoil some images of epic armors that are coming out in the future. And if you guys don't like to see that, you know, I'm sorry for that, but make sure to click this video away so that way you guys don't get spoiled and hate me for doing so. But with that being said, let's actually take a look at what is actually upcoming next. So we are going to kick off the leaked images with a very impressive looking armor. The armor itself kind of gives me the feeling it's going to be a mono earth type kind of armor, and that really kind of makes sense to me. Before I actually talk a little bit further about this armor, I do have some screenshots about the armor of the Komodo and the Spectre Shroud being fusible. I'm not entirely sure like in which order I'm going to show them off to you guys, but there's actually been one guy who has been so lucky that he got like out of 3 fusions he got 2 armor of the Komodos. And that really is very impressive. I'm very happy for that guy, but it just shows that it's fusible right now. I literally got like 30 or 40 PMs about them being fusible right now, so that really confirms to me that it actually is fusible. So that's very nice. I want to thank each and every one of you guys so much for sending those screenshots, so that way I could actually bring the news out to the community. So let's talk about the armor itself. So the armor itself seems to me that it is going to be a mono earth, like I already said. I think it's going to essentially replace the armor of the Komodo, because the armor of the Komodo right now is actually fusible. So that means that there is no, you know, premium, like quote unquote premium earth type mono element armor. And I'm not for sure if this is going to be a war epic. It's definitely an epic, that's just what I can see. The armor itself looks absolutely amazing, by the way. I really like the way this one looks. The sword looks really cool, the design of the sword itself. I'm not entirely sure about the green stuff, like the green lines that you're seeing. Also in the shield. What I really like in the shield is that in the shield the design is really cool, because the spikes on each side are like, the first one is long, like every other side it's like a long spike, then short, then long, then short, then long. So that's really amazing. The helmet looks really cool too. It has little rings over the horns, and that kind of gives it a very impressive, I don't know, kind of feeling. I'm not sure. I think this is going to be a attacking kind of armor, like by the looks from it. It could be a high defensive one as well, but it feels to me that this is going to be a very attacking type armor. I really like the way this one looks. I'm pretty curious to see what this one is going to look like having them in game, you know, because the thing is, you never know how these armors are going to look unless you see them in game. So I'm really curious to see what this one looks like, especially because the little green lines on the shield and the sword don't really make a lot of sense to me right now. But if they're actually gonna glow, I think that's going to give a really amazing effect. So that being said, let's move on to the next one. So the second armor in the 4 armors that I'm going to reveal to you guys actually represent the fire and spirit element, and you can already see that from the color. It's blatantly obvious to me that it's going to be a spirit along with the fire type, because the red represents the fire and of course the spirit represents the purple color, or the other way around, it doesn't matter. So let's talk a little bit about the armor itself. So I can kind of understand when people say this is going to be an epic boss armor. However, I feel that because of the 3 little particles that you guys are seeing in the axe, and of course the little, like, I don't know what that is, like a red cloud above the shield, that kind of shows to me that there's a little effect that we need to take into consideration when this armor actually comes out. So I feel this is going to be an epic armor. However, I don't feel it looks that impressive as an epic armor that came out recently. Now let's go over the design a little bit. I really like the weapon. I like it that the majority of the weapon is actually like not only the colors of the element, it's also like a little bit of goldish yellow incorporated, then a little bit of blue and iron like kind of color to represent the axe, and then nearing the end of the blades of the axe you actually see the red, and at the top of the axe spear you see a little bit of a purple, making it a very nice combination. I really like the way that one looks. Then of course the shield looks very impressive as well. I mean, it has a dragon on it, what else do you want? And then the shoes, it has like little dragon paws, I suppose. I think it looks kind of nice. I do understand if some people think it doesn't really look all that amazing, but I really think this armor is a little bit different than your usual armor, so I really like this one. It has like 3 horns from what I can see, or 4 horns, or even 5, and it has like bat wings coming out of his ear. So what else do you want? It's like a combination of a dragon, demon, Batman kind of thing, so that is really kind of cool. That's what I really like about this armor. And the spirit elements are really amazing too. Like, spirit combines really well with fire, so what else do you want? Let's move on to the next one. Now this third epic boss looks kind of impressive, but it's again the helmet kind of like shows to me that they're trying to keep this mysterious kind of feel in this armor. And again, you're seeing that blue cloud above the shield, so that already like indicates to me that this is going to be an epic armor. But again, you know, this one looks quite impressive. There's a lot of detail in this epic armor, as you guys can see, so that already on itself already represents that this is going to be an epic. Now the weapon, I'm not entirely sure what to think about it. It looks kind of awkward, like an ice glass kind of like broken kind of pieces attached together on the like I suppose on the mace. It's like a glass mace or something like that. I don't really know what to think about it. And then the shield looks really cool. I do like the design of the shield. It's a very detailed like kind of design, so I really like that. The weapon, you know, the armor on itself of course represents only water, so I feel that this is going to be a water monotype. So we have like 2 monotypes already. I think that's pretty cool. This is not like the helmet, I don't really like it all that much, and out of the armors that I'm going to show off to you guys, I think this is the one that I like the least out of the 3 or the 4 that I'm showing you guys. So I'm not entirely sure. I think this is going to be a chest epic maybe, or another epic armor. I'm not entirely sure at all. Like, I don't know what the order is of the armors that they are going to bring out to us. But one thing is for sure, they are definitely going to bring out some mono elements. So if you see a dual type element in the war, you might want to give it a go. This armor on itself, I think it looks quite impressive, but it's not really for me. That's all I really have to say about it. So this last armor we're gonna be talking about is an armor that I would really liked if instead of a staff it would have had a sword or something like that. At least something else than that stupid staff. You know, I really hate staffs on armors and I think they look hideous. You know, I just don't like it because it looks really awkward when a unit or a armor with a staff is attacking like a monster. It's like, hey, I'm gonna hit you with a stick. I just don't really like that because it just, you know, I would have found it better if a magical armor on Knights and Dragons would shoot something like a magic bolt or something like that, or do a magic attack on the monsters on Knights and Dragons. I think that would have been way better than just the staff. I think some people can agree on that, but that being said, the armor itself, I think it looks kind of impressive because I like the shield a lot. It kind of represents a coffin. Really like that, like the little skull on top of it. And then of course, what I like best about this armor is the mask. The mask, like the skull mask, I think that looks really amazing. I like that a lot, and I feel that this one should replace the voodoo ropes in a way, because I really dislike the voodoo ropes on several levels, because I think it looks really awkward. I think the hooded hat, or what's it, the hoodie? It's called the hoodie, right? Yeah, the hoodie, it looks really cool too. I really like that. I'm always a fan of hoodies because I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. But the little feathers coming out of the hoodie is pretty cool as well. The armor looks pretty impressive, you know. But again, it's such a shame about the staff, man. Like, I don't like it. I just don't like staffs, and it kind of gives a cheap feeling, and it just, you know, it just doesn't appeal to me all that much as it should. So it's a little bit disappointing, this armor, just because of that already. You know, if it were any other game, I think this armor would have been pretty amazing. Of course, this is going to be a spirit type, of course, but I feel it's gonna be some water added to it, and that's kind of disappointing as well, because, well, lately we have been getting a lot of water along with spirit epics, like the revelation ropes, and then we have the famine. You know, that's not an epic, but I'm just saying we're getting a lot of spirit water element types of armors. Some people are saying that this is going to be a mono spirit. To be honest, there's too much blue in it, so yeah, that kind of already shows to me that this is going to be a spirit along with water. That's gonna be my final bet, that this is going to be a spirit with water type, and that's kind of unfortunate, you know, in a way. I know some people are going to be disappointed with that, which is absolutely understandable, but then again, you know, it's Knights and Dragons. You can never know what's gonna go happening in the game and stuff like that. You don't know what's on Grease's mind. Maybe they have something planned for us, or they are going to release a whole bunch of monos, you know. That's all Grease doing. That's their designing department that decides all that random stuff, and they're not taking feedback from the community whatsoever, and that kind of sucks, because, you know, I think it would be really nice, just like Supercell is doing from Clash of Clans, that Grease would be taking the community into consideration a little bit more than they are doing right now. So, you know, these are the armors which I wanted to showcase to you guys. The first armor is definitely the one that I like the best, because that one just looks really impressive. Unfortunately, that one is going to be a spirit mono, not a spirit mono, an earth mono, so that's a little bit disappointing. But then again, I think it's going to have some amazing stats on that, so I cannot wait to commentate over it once it actually comes out. So with that being said, I'm going to round this thing off here. And, you know, I've been talking a whole lot about these armors right now, but I'm pretty curious to see what is your favorite out of these four. You know, make sure to share them out with your friends, so that way they can also give their opinion about it. The first one is the best looking in my opinion, and then of course the little dragon armor. Really like that one as well. But the last two armors are a little bit disappointing, but you know, that's just my opinion on the matter. And yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys like these armor, and of course, if you guys like this video, make sure to boom, give it a thumbs up. This was ReversalKnD for Knights and Dragons. I'll be signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.